Hello to MacBook Neo, everyone. That's right. The final announcement I'm sure of today is the newest, cheapest Mac that has ever been done in a laptop form. It is the MacBook Neo, has been released starting at $599 or $499 for education, and it will be available starting March 11th. This is what we've been waiting to see of this new Mac, and we're going to go through all the details of this Mac. They have a great video, by the way, if you want to go look online on YouTube to kind of break down the whole thing. But they're going to come in 4 colors here: the silver, blush, citrus, and indigo. They redesigned the aluminum. They made it like 60% recycled aluminum is now inside this product. This new device is also going to give us 16 hours up to battery life on this new device. They have put in a liquid retina display, so they put in a high quality display, and we'll go over the tech details of that. They say Apple Intelligence does work with it. Apple Intelligence will work on this device, including other AI options. And of course, one of the major things that I noticed with this MacBook Neo right away is how much they're trying to convince people to switch from a PC to a Mac, and we're going to go over the details of that too. They have a lot of things. They're really trying to introduce people to this Mac as brand new, like you've never used it, how you've never been in a Mac before, and they are trying to convince you to come over to it. So let's talk about a few of the things. Number one, they have 4 different colors. Of course, we talked about with these colors. That yellow seems to be like the one they're advertising. Not really a fan of that one. I do like the blue, pink, and of course the traditional gray here. They do have a 500 nit brightness display with a 13-inch retina, so it's not the greatest brightness in the world, but obviously, you know, you're getting an affordable Mac here. They're giving you a keyboard and trackpad, of course. Touch ID is only available, though, in the higher priced one. We're going to talk about that in a second. They did put a 1080p web camera in here, re-enhanced these speakers. They did talk about how the speakers are different in this device and how they re-engineered it, and that it does work with spatial audio. Port-wise, what they've done is they have put in a USB 3 port, a USB 2 port, and a headphone jack port. So the back port is the 3, the 2 is the one on the front, and then they have the headphone jack all on the same side, by the way. So just so you know how the design of that works. So let's go over the tech specs of this device. So we have a $599 and a $699 price. What do you get with the $100 difference? Well, one is that you're going to get a Touch ID model. So on their main site, they talk about the keyboard and trackpad are different. So one of them is just a lock key, and the other one is a Touch ID key. So you will get that for $100. Also, if you decide you want to get a $600 one, it is $512 compared to $256. So you're getting 2 different features. The chip is the same, everything is the same except for the Touch ID and the storage. So those are the 2 things you have to look at as if you want to get the $599 model or $699 model. First off, I applaud Apple for this. We were worried that with the price increase of the MacBook Air that we talked about in our other videos, that they were going to justify to make it a $700, $800 laptop. Now, they did make a $700 laptop, let's be real, they did do it, but they didn't make that the primary one. The $599 is the primary one. Not to mention, you get $100 off if you get a education discount. So that means that this one is going to be $499, a $500 laptop from Mac, which is like something I never would have thought of. I worked at Apple in 2007. I would have never thought a $500 laptop would ever be in Mac's portfolio, but it is. And I'm definitely going to be buying one. I cannot say I won't. I am going to buy one for sure. I want to try it out and check it out. I probably would get the Touch ID one, though, because I would rather have that, and I'd rather have the more storage room on here. On their website, they are doing this Mac Does That push. They are pushing, hey, can I do all this stuff? Can I transfer my stuff? Can I learn the Mac as easy as I can? And they have video tutorials basically right here on educating people on how to do it. So this is very clearly trying to get people from Chromebooks to PCs to come over to the Mac and try it out. If you already have an iPhone and you have a Windows machine, which I do see a lot, this is a way to convince people that, hey, you could get a $500 or $600 laptop or $700 laptop that will give you that ability to do what you want. So Apple did announce that there is a 60% recycled content in here. So they definitely made this I'm not going to say a cheaper design, but they have definitely reused a lot of aluminum in here. So I want to get my hands on one of these to see what it feels like, what it looks like, what the weight is like on this. Pretty incredible design here from Apple. So is it worth the value? I mean, I have to try one of these guys. I really do. I mean, this is just an incredible looking computer. I think we're going to see what the A18 Pro chip is going to do inside of here. People would say, I guess you could compare it to an M1 style design of the chip. That's hard to say. I don't know what the actual performance is going to be. Like, I don't expect you to run Final Cut on this, although I am going to, of course, try it and see how it acts. But I'm sure it's not going to be that great. I'm sure you could do like the basic stuff you do on iMovie or editing apps on your phone are going to be very similar to what you could do on here. So there is going to be a lot of questions until we get this in our hands. But I'm impressed. I really like this design. I think this is great for anybody starting off. If you want to get your child a Mac, if you want to be able to be brand new to the environment, don't want to spend so much money, you know, you have the value here for $600 or $700. And again, education-wise, if you find someone you know with education discounts, you can basically get the Touch ID model with 512 for $600. Not to mention, you could do this for 12 months for $49.91, and of course, if you use the Apple Card, you get 3% back. So there are so many options here for us as Mac users now, but also people who are brand new to this and want to get into this environment. This is going to be extremely popular. I think this is going to change Apple entirely, their trajectory, by doing this. We have to see the durability of it. We have to see how great it is. Is it going to work for our everyday tasks? Am I going to be able to work on this every day and not feel the slowness compared to me? I have an M1 Max, of course, but I also have an M4, and I'm wondering how well this is going to work with everything on here. If Apple says all the claims that it says, that it could do everything, it could do productivity, it could do everything you need to do, let's see what it does. And let's put it to the test, everybody. So I hope to get one of these, try it out, and see if it looks that good. If you have any questions, please definitely let me know in there. Just going through the site, again, they have a dual mic display. They have the Fire speakers, but their goal is to definitely make this, as someone who has never used a Mac before, to come over and give it a try. And for the price, you can't argue it. Thank you very much, everyone, for looking at this video, and I love every single one of you.